soul and the sound of the man with the dancing hands. From vast rocks to the slippery cliffs of Rafe's Chasm, I hear the resounding ring of your Afro-Cuban rhythm. It's the beat way down to your shoes. It's the beat to keep. It's the Beatitudes. It's the beat in the heart. It's the beat and down in the world. It's the rhythm of your rocking and the roll of your soul. The rhythm of the breeze, the roll of the sea, the rhythm of the rhyming sirens of the rocks, the roll of the waves, the rhythm of the beating wings, the roll of the sun on the horizon. From the last echo of the velvet night to the first light of morning, you, luminous, white light, white heat of the bright bulb, bursting forth for the blinding flash shock of your locks, shooting flames from your head, and the twinkling glimmer of your saintly left eye, squinting to see the heavenly vision of you as the granddaddy of everything, right about music at that time of all time. The jittery strangeness of a habitual outsider, faded in France, a new rose blooming, washing cosmic cafe Florian dishes in Kenmore Square. You could hear the rumbling shining through, but the soul has a sound, and the sound has a view. The sound of the rumble is you. Standing jackknife, legs splayed, slouched behind your graffiti keyboard, hands dancing in unison, on the sunny side of a soaring soul. In Salem with the preacher, in the Universalist church with circling angels, in the cathedral in Lowell with Herbert Huncke and Patti Smith, in the Rat with a radio heart, in the Cape Ann courtyard with the sea serpent sculpture, in Paradise with Yola Tango, I got it, Willie's got it, we all got it. He catches it casually, strolling onto the stage, ripping through the fog's frenzy, sounding an ancient alarm, a wild man still standing, a bold man with a butterfly on his right shoulder, a man of many collages, a man painting his dreams. The first man to play the Tea Party, the last man played on BCN, a man for the Rock of Ages, who is ageless, who grows younger in the timeless fountain of his muse. All sonic youth, all sonic vinegar, all sonic boom. Boom, boom, gaga, all things go underground with Garrett and Glee. Perini, well framed by the festive sounds of the Fisheye Brothers. Life is this poem. This poem is Willie. Willie is this life. The haunted life, the rock and roll life, the life of this party. The life of a man with the dancing hands, with the soul and the sound. The seagulls sing, laughing through this seaside town. Willie, here you go. Thank you, I'm done. That was a long one, but it's heartfelt. I also very influenced by Jack Micheline, as Gabe knows, and Lou Welch. So this is a poem for Lou Welch, who great poet. Went to school with Gary Snyder, friends with Kerouac. It was in the Dharma Bums. Walked into the woods with a shotgun. Was never seen again. So Lou Welch backwards is Chilluwell. The title of this poem is Chilluwell. Chilluwell went to the well one too many times. He fell in and made no splash in the stillness of silent wishes. He walked backwards, ignoring the warning in the wood, the solar eclipse burning the shadow of his soul. He threw the bath water out, blessing the baby, into the raging stream of his conscious quest. He bid toodle-doo to his tool belt and tape measure. The yellow cab taxied down the runway, and the meter was running interference. You and your shotgun set your sights on the sun with a hair-trigger cosmic finger, free of the wheel, safe sliding into home or heaven, whichever answers your knock at the door. Behind the mirror, the engraved stone reads, "Silence," marking an empty grave. Trick, trap, trusted enemy, kept close to the vest. In silent air-conditioned treaties, signed by the sealed fates, he knew damned well he was eternally damned. Chewed well the cosmic cud of the happy cow. He wore a tight-knit cap of the community that fell from a laughing monk's head, covering his slick-back mind, black oil viscous thought that greased invisible pistons. He flew the coop with wings that sing in bulletproof nests. Chilluwell chose well the endless stream, unconscious of the rage of mountains that sourced its tears. Thank you. Chilluwell. Newell. Our friend Joe Torra lives down in Somerset, and this I read with him 2 years ago, almost to the day, which is this is for Joe Torra as I continue my poems for people. From sunrise to Somerset, No, put it down. Damn. That's pointing. Beyond! Charge. For hither not. I am the stallion. From sunrise to Somerset for Joe Torah. The sun sets around you rejoicing. The river knows how many tears are in a raindrop. The summer wind knows how many cries are in a train whistle blast. There's nothing better, nothing bitter about parading around the grounds, laying low at low tide. Let the blasted boulders sink into the silty river mud. Footsteps or tall buildings, seagulls scrape the sky. We walk amongst them, gathering silent laughter into a bouquet of proses, lines written, lines drawn in sandy hands of the persistent sea. Thank you. And this was published in the Illegalist, and this is a poem for my friend Gabe. A tall stalk of night for Gabe. Soaking it in is one thing, but dishing it out is another. I see you in the attic of the old Worthing pub, a tall stalk of night, lithe, nimble words, absorbing the universe in a particular moment. Poetry is the greatest force on earth, and the force is within you. Let it fly and listen all to the slow tear of time and the ages that weep and rips in the cloth of unbridled freedom. 6 foot in the grave, 1 foot in the parade. That's where the music comes from. You are taller when you are reaching down to soak it in and sing out. I see you sitting down, standing tall, after all options have been exhausted. Thank you. Thank you for the smattering of applause. Now, this is for Paul, if I can find it. It's true. Yeah, I can always find Paul. The end of the street. Paul read a poem that brought to mind. I don't read this poem much, and I love it. It's true. It is true. It's true. I spent my dues, left too many clues, broke the truce, danced like a noose, pissed in the juice. It is possible I gave you false hope, burnt your heart with a rodeo rope, made you drop the soap, blew white smoke at the Pope, kissed your voluptuous cantaloupe. It is likely I ran out on the bill, filled my cup to spill, covered your whispers with clean fill, set the values to permanent nil, stole a thrill in a car speeding over a hill. It is feasible. I crumpled your soul, wrinkled your secret buttonhole, shopped for excuses in a store for the large and tall, rented a room in the attic of a doll, flooded your phone booth with prank collect calls, blessed your stalls with the glory of holes. It is viable. I streamed your windshield with tears, plied your guardian angel with beers, prepared to pay for those gears, for road... quilted your dreams into fears. It is reasonable. I punctuated the sidewalk with ambersands, drank the dirty water from hot dog stands, put on my shoes without first making plans, went to school with swollen glands, blessed my children with the name of brands. It is possible. I chiseled an escape, served high mass dressed only in a cape, sat against plexiglass with a sad, lonely ape, stole from shadows their shape, played with myself and screamed rape, drank a fifth of scotch tape. It is true. Yeah. Well, thank you for smattering. Yeah.
Jim, I remember you reading that poem at Joe Torres' house.
Oh,
27 years
27 years ago. That's probably the last time I read it.
There you go.
And then I had to go pee. So.
But you were thinking of Paul.
I was thinking of Paul. Well, Paul, you have a poem similar, right? As it got kind of like that Dylan-esque, so it came to mind. I said, I should read that someday. That day just happened to be today.
Good.
I'm giving a talk on Harry Crosby, but I'm not going to read that poem. The talk will be better than the poem. But these poems are related to Trump and our times. And I wrote these during the first horrible Trumpian times. It's called Difficult Tendencies. Please stand down and stand by. We are experiencing difficult tendencies at the moment. Please stand by, bystander. Please stand up. All rise at the sunset. We are working hard to resolve the issue as soon is impossible. We are experiencing difficult tendencies. We are dressed to the right, but we're pulling to the left. The fix is in. We're dreaming hard to align ourselves with the stars. We're experiencing difficult tendencies. We're falling back on old habits to protect us from new threats. We are mouthing the words to a broken prayer that can't protect us. We are experiencing difficult tendencies. We should have resolved our issues with the battered angels of our nature. They fly no more, and they tend to weep in the garden of failed guardians, where gravity holds weight and reigns supreme. Stand by. And the aftermath thematics. Running numbers after the numbers have run, in the wake of great and costly errors, tallying up the scores in a divine equation. A long division, carry the one, something doesn't add up, counting the beans as they jump to their death. Leapfrog, leaps of faith, landing in hot water, boiling to a point. Logical conclusions are also a form of tiny deaths, like dreamless sleep or interrupted ecstasies. Count the losses, measure a bottomless hole. Run your tongue over the absence where once was your missing tooth. The numbers continue to climb like an acrobatic airplane over the sea. It all comes down to this, the missing variable. And we all experience an abundance. Out of an abundance of caution. This is an overabundance of caution. Out of an overabundance of caution, we have decided to share our abundant bounty of cautionary tales to keep safe distance. We take these steps, climb them onward, upward into a womb of stainless steel, a silver seed to secure freedom from fear, across the touch face of the sun. I am up for anything except everything you suggested. The God of inertia never moves. He just sits there and radiates holy stillness. I pray to the unmoved and the unmovable, the sacred statue of static energy, a bowl of sparks humming like angry flies, feasting upon themselves, lighting up as they devour each hour, each other. I remain on the side of caution in all its yellow glory, bursting in trailing streams with its own overabundance. I'm just going to dedicate this to my friend Jocko and Lucas, who are not here, but I'll dedicate this to Andy, who is here, who witnessed this. There's two things going on at the same time. Andy witnessed it, and Dan, and of course, Gabe's witnessed it. Who had to come down and visit me at the rocks. So, fishing at the mouth of a chasm. Casting a prayer into the sea, standing upon the bare knuckles of the holy coast. Oh, Greg, too. The sea breathes around me, whispering her glorious secrets. There is ruthless danger in beauty, and there is ruthless beauty in danger. I catch a blessing in the foamy tide and throw it back into the sea. The sun cracks open the sky, and we are all doomed in the daylight. Race chasm. The sun's born an orange ball and dies a hazy yellow flower. And then behind us is this, and at the same time, it's so beautiful. Between the full moon and the rising sun. Caught upon the rocks, a slippery place, between the living moment and the dead dream. There lies behind me the nocturnal soul of night's engine, orchestrating the dance and the music of the endless sea. Ahead, the gulls bring news of the coming light. The clouds are set aflame from underneath by the slightest touch of the fiery fingertips of the praying, pointed hands of the new day. First a blinking eye, then the blazing face of ecstasy. Behind me, the moon lowers its hollow shell upon the trees lined against the sky. The clouds are fields of rolling joy, from which rises the royal white chariot, led by glorious horses frozen in mid-gallop. Heroically stoic in their conquering charge over immense distances. The copper shimmer of the wet rocks shines between what is left of night and what has become of the day, bathed in new light, dressed in wild white flowers of the clouds. The foamy sea throwing her bouquet against the silent rocks, standing fast between the full moon and the rising sun. Amen. Thank you. Very much. And this is a total old Sonic ripoff. But Garrett would take us to the spot where James Murray killed the bull. So this is my take on James Murray and the bull. Dogtown Bull Blues. Babson Boulder sits still. The wind's a ghost through the trees, a familiar friend. Off in the distance, sudden bursts of gunfire echo in Dogtown. The invisible bull lowers his horns off the rocky road beaten path where basements sank with the weight of spirits, pirates, slaves, hookers, and strays. Rearrange the rolling rocks for a new pasture message. Betting on the bull in the heather with the future considerations, the divine cow slams a man's pride against the boulder. Mary Jim raised the bull, to fight the bull, to die by the bull. On the secret spot a wise man showed us. First scored there, Jim died there. A matador who could not tame the boulders or the calf he raised as his killer. Wrestling fury to the ground, thrown upon the stone where he died, trying to prove he was the man who beat the Dogtown Bull Blues. Final thunder. Standard reasoning applies not to the fallen, perplexed people, hung high for a low moment into the logic of dreams. Let down your door, the green man unhinges, divining a deeper purpose, plowing your gentle plea through your prayers. Peace offerings are honored in good faith, but hope is drained of its promise in the face of such unrest. Check your headgear to ensure your mind gauge is set to go off in the morning with whistling bells made of bones. Pass introspection, investigate the silence of the scene of prior uprisings. Get your head into the clouds and gather up the storms to electrify the air around you. These times require final thunder. Thank you. And then I wanted to read often for my friend John Wieners. This is a poem for him. God bless him, and he's still with me. And then I'll read a poem for Garrett, and then I'll wrap it up. The mall proposes solitude. In hell, the damned clap continuously, hooting and hollering for more. A round of applause in 7 circles. Words are drowned, warnings in the wood that panels the wall of the poet's mind. Monkeys clap with cymbals in their eyes. Slap them with fines. The praise changes tone. Heaven, a comfortable quiet whose fabric is the distant whoosh of traffic on Cambridge Street. The bright silence of sunlight coming through the sitting room window and blinding, flashing white, artificial hearts break cleaner than bleeding ones. Submerged urges of pining desires, a strong will to break the comfortable silence, conquered by the sense that the chance has passed. A breeze invited into the room by the ghost of lonely afternoons. The curtains wave unfurling beyond the brick chimney stacks, the mansard roofs of Mount Vernon Hill, surrounding the golden dome sparkling in the high noon sunlight against the blue cloud of the sky. Configurations of 2 restless, dreaming men, one rushing to get back, one living back there. The view out the window in the late afternoon sunset, the dirty black metal of the Tobin Bridge, the pale Bunker Hill monument impaling blue sky, the smokestacks of Con Ed on the banks of the Mystic River, the Holiday Inn at the base of the hill, an ivory elephant. All these afternoon adornments help us to remain silent. I love to hear your approval, the roar of your delight, but these wood floors are tombs for our feelings. Bury man's slaughter dreams with man's laughter. My feet are happy to be kissing your floor. My hands are free to give you first, last, and security. For John Wieners. And I'll end with this one. Actually, these are 2 poems, and I love these poems. And every time Garrett's here, I read them for him. So Garrett's here, and I'm reading for him and for all of you. Well wishers. The coin falls eternally. No splash can match the scream a quarter makes when it is tossed by a wanting hand. The black stillness is a quiet mirror, reflecting the silent wishes long forgotten. A girl with a garland in her hair kneels fawn-like beside the stone well, picking flowers for her crown. She came to me in an envelope at the Edgar Cayce Center in Virginia Beach in a clairvoyancy class. I stumbled across her in my mind as a Puritan resting beside a butter churner. To coin a Hollywood phrase with a small dog licking your face, I wish you all the time. Wishing wells. Lighthouse eyes shine New York City neon winter blue. A monk among us with strange invocations who roved us in words. Sitting on the Senator's Louisburg Square doorstep on Mount Hordem, sharing stolen chocolate-covered secrets from Starbucks, the downward tree grows earthly in your heavenly hands. Regarding the city from the grand windows of the brick Sears Tower, the Charles River ribboned under the Smoot and Longfellow. Swimming back from Kettle Island, I caught a tiny glimpse of you waving from Magnolia Beach on the 4th of July as holiday boaters aimed recklessly from my unseen bobbing head, floating on the sea. You carry the secret of the fisherman and his catch, the sinking boat and the sea, the land and its pinings in the palm of your soul. Thank you.
Thank you again to our readers, Clay and Jim. Fantastic. Again, I invite you to hang around, peruse Clay's book, buy Clay's book for $18 or less. And I'll remind you here right at the last moment that the Gloucester Writers Center is in fact a nonprofit center that keeps all of its shows open to the public and free, but we do that with the help of donations. There's a little glass case back there There's a QR code that you can hit with your phone. If you feel so moved, if you haven't spent all your money on Clay, feel free to drop us a few bucks. All right. Thanks again, everyone.